Beautiful. Ya Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد فأوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله، فإنه حبل متين وعروة وثقى. صلوات. Dear brothers and sisters in Iman, first of all I advise myself for taqwa, parhizgari and piety, and then I advise all of you for the same. Last time I had announced that inshallah from today I will try to talk about the obligations of month of Ramadan, because month of Ramadan is soon approaching and it's good to prepare ahead of time so that we hit the ground running, and when month of Ramadan enters we know our obligations and we know how to fulfill those responsibilities towards the month of Ramadan. Please recite a salawat. We all know that month of Ramadan is actually like a training camp or a course designed to train us and to train us for reaching to the higher degrees of Iman and higher degrees of Taqwa. One of the objectives of fasting is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that you may attain Taqwa. Taqwa is the ultimate goal. A matter of fact, all these ibadat and all these rituals, whether they are praying, whether they are fasting, whether it is zakat, whether it is homes, whether it is Hajj, all of these are actually leading us toward taqwa. All of these rituals are designed with that one purpose, and that is to make us the people of taqwa. So fasting is one of those special tools which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created to bring us more awareness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and increase the spirituality amongst us. So during the month of Ramadan we fast and we recite du'as, munajat, we recite Quran, we recite nawafil, special recommended prayers, and we do the charitable work. And all these things, whether it is charity, whether it is recitation of Quran or recitation of those du'as, or offering fellow fasting individuals iftar, or volunteering in any capacity in the community and in the society, actually prepares us for those higher responsibilities and higher degrees. Kindly recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. All of us are, of course, assalamu alaikum, human beings, and the life of human being is subject to so many challenges. Whether you are an ordinary individual or you are an individual of high position or high standing in the society, whether you are poor, whether you are rich, whether you are an ordinary individual or you are someone that who holds a lot of power in the society, all of human beings are going through their challenges and through their own issues. Most of us, we think that it's only me that who is going through this, and why I am always into the trouble, and why I am always in the problem, and why I am getting into these issues one after another. While reality is that if you go and interview, you will hear the same thing from almost everyone, if they want to be honest with you. The difference is everybody's test is different. It is just like somebody is in examination hall. If you go, somebody is taking the test of chemistry, the other one is taking the test of math, the other one is going through biology, and the other one is going through the English literature. But basically everybody is going through the test. This is how the life is. Some people go through these tests in their earlier part of the life, some people go through those tests in the middle part of the life, and some people they go through those tests in the later part of their life. Some people they feel those tests in their health, some people they feel in the health of their children and spouses, and some people have the health issues in their parents, and some people will have some other financial issues and social issues and the professional issues and all kind of issues. Since it is a khutbah Jum'ah and we don't have much time where I can share with you the details, but there are beautiful examples which our ulama and scholars have given, that if you look at those are amazing, that you will see everybody actually going through the test. Everybody has their own test and everybody has their own history and their own story to tell. So, realizing that the human life is a test and it is hard and it is difficult. Sometimes we just get used to it. But reality is that it is difficult. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created some means for us, and some ways for us that if we avail those means, then those tests become little lighter on us. We develop more patience, we develop more endurance, we develop more strength where we can deal with those issues. Meaning no one can say that it will eliminate the issues. Matter of fact, there is a incident reported in our books of hadith that somebody gave a dua to somebody who was nice and kind with him. He gave him long lengthy dua that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you in his protection, you never get ill, you never get broke, you never get this, you never get this, you never get all those kind of good du'as. Imam Sadiq was sitting next and he was listening that dua, and he said, actually you are giving him dua of death. He said, how come? I am wishing him so good. I am giving him all these good du'as that you never fall ill, you never fall poor, you never get into any problem, nobody can hurt you from jinn and ins and all the protection and everything. He said, Imam said, only dead people in the graveyard, they can enjoy that luxury. Any living human beings will get all these problems which you are giving him protection. So as long as he is alive and as long as he is living in this human society, sometime he will get poor, sometime he will get ill, sometime he will get pain, sometime he will be disappointed, sometime he will be hurt, sometime he will be disappointed. This is the nature of human life. So if you are wishing him that kind of ideal life, then basically you are sending him into the ideal world, which is the next world. So in this world, there is no way. And that's why Quran tells us the stories of prophets and messengers. And if we look at the stories of Anbiya, we see the story. Anbiya got sick and their families got sick. Anbiya were the one who were put in exile and they were thrown from their own cities and from their own homes. Anbiya were being martyred and killed. And if you read the life stories of Anbiya in books of history, you will see there is any kind of abuse you can think of, and that Nabi of Allah was abused. If there is any kind of loss, the Nabi of Allah or the Messenger of Allah had that kind of loss in his life. Look at the life of your own Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam. He was born orphan, meaning what a blessing is to have a father to embrace you and to put you in his lap and to provide you his kind shadow and to warmth of life. And he is the best of creation, and he is born orphan. He loses his mother when he is only 6. Can you imagine a child only 6 and he loses his mother? And he loses his mother not at home, but even in a journey. When they are coming back from Medina to Makkah, he loses his mother. He went out with his mother, but when he returns, he is coming alone. So that is the life, that is the childhood. At the age 8, he loses his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib. And now this poor child was born orphan, lost his mother at the age 6, lost his grandfather, his custodian, his guardian at the age 8. And now he is under the care of his uncle, Hazrat Abu Talib. Again, if you read again the detail of the life of Prophet, he was not born with a golden spoon in his mouth. He struggled. He was a struggling young man as a shepherd, working for other people. And eventually, he had opportunity to work for Khadija, and then he became the husband of Hazrat Khadija. And then also when you see when he started preaching Islam, what he has gone through, what kind of life, miserable life he was going through in all those years, and until a time came when there was a life threat and he had to leave the Makkah, and he had to just go and take refuge in Medina. Is any one of us has faced that kind of life? Any one of us? That we have gone through all those things which our beloved Prophet has gone? And then 10 years in Medina were even worse. So the point is, life, never expect that it is going to be luxurious or it is going to be a very enjoyable experience. Yes, there are ups and downs. There are some times when we have some luxury, but at the same time, there is some problem going on. So you are enjoying financially, you are riding high, but at home you have the conflict with your wife or with your husband. Or if you are lucky enough that you don't have any problem with your spouse, your children will take care of you. As they will be growing, they will take care of you, and you will see that how, meaning it is, the life is fun. Raising children, particularly in this day and age. But it was never easy in any time, but how difficult it is. And many times while we are enjoying in one area of the life, we are going through some other difficulties from other side. It is just like as the sunshine and the shadow, they just are next to each other and they are all working together or moving together. This is how the life is. So, keeping all those things in mind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has offered us some therapies, some help, some resources that if we avail, so these difficulties and these hardships become little easy. One of them is prayer, and one of them is this fasting. That's why Quran says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. In Surah Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when you are going through hardships, when you are facing difficulties, when you are going through these challenges of life, seek assistance from bis-sabri was-salat. Sabr and salat. These two things, they make these difficulties or hardships little easier on you. If you develop the taste of salat, again, developing the taste of salat and then doing the salat properly in proper spirit and enjoying the salat is one thing, and offering the salat 5 times is something else. So these are two different things. So one thing is to enjoy the salat and to offer the salat on time and in proper spirit. And the other thing is to just offer the salat. Yes, I have done my 5 prayers, but none of them on time, and none of them with the proper spirit, none of them with proper devotion, with proper understanding, with proper attention, all just running in and running out. So kept running, entered in the masjid, did my prayer, and then again ran back. So without putting my heart into my prayer, without having that khudu and that khushu in the prayer, without being able to really have that spiritual moment in my prayer. So that's a prayer. But if prayer is offered in its proper spirit, as Prophet said, when Prophet was going through very difficult times and those hardships, his peace was in prayer. Oh yaar, isko band kar do na ek dafa, recite a salawat. So he would find peace in the prayer. Even opposite to our daily practice. when we are tired, it is difficult for us to stand up for the prayer. We say, let me take nap, and when I get little fresh, then I will stand up and I will do my prayer. While Prophet was actually, whenever he was tired, so he would pray, and this prayer would actually take care of his tiredness and remove all that tiredness. That's one common phrase of Prophet of Allah. When he would come to that point, he would say, Arehna ya Bilal, Arehna ya Bilal. Bilal, give us rahat, comfort, convenience by calling adhan. So when Bilal would call adhan, people will get together and the Prophet would pray. So this prayer was a therapy. This prayer was a therapy. This prayer was a remedy. This prayer would help to remove all the worries and all the tiredness. But if we avail it in a proper spirit. The second thing which in Quran we see bis sabr, in riwayat, in ahadith, particularly the ahadith of Ahlul Bayt, we see that sabr means fasting in this ayat. Meaning you avail the assistance, you seek the assistance from fasting and from your prayer. وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. Recite a salawat. So this fasting is another remedy, and it is another way of addressing our worries, our concerns. And I can share with you my personal experience that whenever I was going through some difficulties or hardships, while we make du'as and we make prayers and we give charity and sadaqah and everything, but nothing helps as the fast helps. Fasting is one of the best ways to address your hardships and difficulties in your life. If you make dua at the time of iftar, pray again in the proper spirit, and then when you are done with your prayer, at the time of iftar, instead of rushing to having those dates and pakoras and samosas, as we think that as this is also wajib and obligatory, that when the time of iftar comes, we have to run for the iftar. At least in our school of thought, we don't have to run after dates or run after samosas or pakoras. Meaning the fast, we have fasted the whole day, so it will be okay if we didn't break the fast for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 4 minutes, and we put that our hands together and made our dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for ourselves, for our family, for our community, for our society, and for humanity at large. Pray for everyone. Everyone. So when you will pray for everyone, Allah will inshallah give you the bonus. So that is the time when we are supposed to, as you know, the laborer, he works the whole day, and in the evening there is a time for payment. That is the time when he is being paid. So the time when we finish our job and now we have to put our hands together and ask our Lord and God to now pay to us, we run after pakoras and samosas and dates and fear that, the fasting will be ruined, for example, or makruh or something like that. That's not the case. That was a Jewish fast, which was, meaning Jews would delay it for hours after sunset. And you know that because of they had problem, they cannot eat twice. They had to eat once, and then their next day, they have to start fast. So Jews were, for example, breaking their fast for hours after sunset. And that's what Prophet said, don't be like Jews, breaking your fast. But he didn't mean these 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So the issue is that it is misunderstood by masses, and sometime when you are in gatherings of iftar, you see there is a kind of emergency. When the time of iftar comes, everybody is running around and everybody is just searching for those kind of things. Thank God that at least among the followers of Ahlul Bayt, alayhimussalatu wassalam, we don't have that kind of environment. And this is again thanks to the family of Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt, alayhimussalatu wassalam, that who understood deen of Allah and deen of Prophet in proper way, and they explained to us in the proper way. Recite a salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن أحسن الحديث وأبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Before I sit down and again stand for the second khutbah, I would just like to announce that sometime, because our masjid is on road, and sometime mistakenly some people they come and join us for Salatul Jumu'ah, and when they come in they realize that maybe they are at a wrong place. So this is not their masjid, meaning the masjid of their school of thought, and then they have kind of difficult time and don't know what to do. So if someone has mistakenly come in, first of all, everyone is welcomed here, and we don't mind anybody from any member of any Muslim school of thought to come and pray with us. But if you don't feel comfortable, so when I sit down and before I stand up for the second khutbah, you can leave and you can go to any other masjid if you want to do that. Please recite a salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحليم الكريم غافر الذنب وقابل التوب وهو الغفور الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب اللهم صل على محمد وعلى سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة اللهم صل على وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي اللهم صل على مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وعلى آبائه الكرام ما اتصل الليالي والأيام اللهم صل على محمد وعلى Dear brothers and sisters in Iman, again I advise myself for taqwa, parhizgari and piety, and I advise all of you for the same. In the second khutbah of Jum'ah, I will not take you too much time. I just wanted to make a point that there is a lot of concern and there is a lot of worry in our community in United States that a young man from the community of Florida was arrested by federal prosecution agency, and his name is Ali Daniel Himani. And this young man, as so far we have heard, that was a good young man. He was active at masjid and in community and had a good reputation. He was just stopped on roadside in a routine as police normally stops people, and then he was told that there is a warrant for him, and they arrested him, and he is detained and under some kind of custody without even letting him or his attorneys know that what are the exact charges. So I have been approached by so many organizations, the human rights organizations, so many of our own organizations, so many of other jamaats and the activists and the leadership from different communities to raise our voice and to tell that this is not the right thing to do or this is not a good thing to do. He was a law-abiding citizen, and this arrest doesn't send a good message to the community, particularly at the time when people have so many other worries and everyone is going through so much challenges and so many difficulties. So since I don't know personally about this young man, so at this time I will only say this, that if there are any charges, if there are any criminal charges or there are any genuine complaints against him, then he should be charged properly and legally, and he should be brought to the justice. And whatever, meaning the charges are, whatever the complaints are, he should be judged fairly and justly, and he should be given justice. If he is guilty, of course we are not going to stand with him, but if he is not guilty and if he is just being persecuted and is a part of just a kind of new wave of harassment of Muslim youth, then of course we are going to oppose it. We are going to raise our voice, and we are going to stand with any oppressed individual, whether he is a Muslim, whether he is a non-Muslim, whether he is a person of our color or whether he is a person of any other color, white or black, Hispanic or red Indian, anyone. But our religion teaches us that we must stand with oppressed one, and we have to raise our voice against oppression and injustice. So that is pillar of our religion. That's what we believe for. And that is the statement I wanted to make in this second khutbah of Jum'ah. I'm sure many of you already know what's going on, but try to follow this story and see that what can be done by our community and other communities. We need to stand together. If we will not speak, if we will not stand, then chances are that every other young man will be stopped and will be arrested, and then it will become too difficult to deal with. Recite a salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا عسى ربكم أن يكفر عن سيئاتكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار وقال الله تبارك وتعالى أيضا إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون